Welcome back to Dot Scrapbooking. This is the card that I'm going to be making today, so I'll show you how I did it. So thanks for coming back and watching. Bye. Hi, this is Dorothy with Dot Scrapbooking, and I am going to make a card for the Atlanta Card Sketch Challenge. This is number 502. And I really enjoy doing these sketches, and it gives me a Christmas card, which I desperately need. I haven't made my Christmas cards yet, so I'm just putting a one together, and then I will be doing more and showing you. So I used the Holly embossing folder along with the 2 stencils that come with it. So if you use the Close to My Heart embossing folders, make sure that the name Close to My Heart is facing up. And then you know that the embossed part that is raised will be facing you. So just make sure that the name is up. So I am just kind of lining up the stencils. So if you just find, if you can find one along the edge, then you can more easily line things up. I was going to use evergreen and sage, but I decided to use pine. See, the pine is a deeper color, darker color, I should say, than the evergreen. The evergreen's real bright, and obviously I haven't used Seabrook yet, and look at what a beautiful color that is. So I decided to use those. There are newer colors. And I'm also going to use Scarlet, and I'll be using a whole bunch of Shimmer Trim, my favorite. So in order to kind of work in these smaller places, I'm going to use daubers. And hopefully there won't be too much. You have a little bit of space in between the leaves to do some daubing. And I am going to make the leaves 2 different colors. So the holly is going to be the darker color, which holly leaves are always pretty darn dark. A lot of depth of color on holly leaves. And so I'm just daubing, and I am not, trying to achieve nirvana here with perfection. I mean, it'll be, just the daubing itself is a little spongy looking. So, but that's okay. So I'm just kind of hitting all the holly leaves, and it's really easy to miss some leaves when you're doing this. So don't worry about it. Just line your stencil up again and go for it. So here's the Seabrook. So it actually comes out a little darker than I kind of thought, but that's good. I mean, but it's nowhere near as dark as the pine. So I kind of I think the last time I did this stencil, I made everything kind of the one color. I got some of the pine onto my Seabrook dauber. So I kind of thought everything was round, was a red berry, and every leaf needed to be the same color. Well, no, that's not the case. So you can add a lot more interest by adding different colors of green for the leaves. And I'm just kind of coloring in the stems darker. Could actually make brown stems if you wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and make the stem stick out. Then I'll put the leaves on the stems. They'll be lighter. So you can tell that there's a little bit of a difference, just for interest's sake. It just kind of makes the stems pop out. So, and like I said, it's pretty easy to miss. There's a leaf right in the middle that I missed. I mean, right there. And then there's some other kind of odd-shaped leaves that I'm missing. The kind of V-shaped leaves. So you think it's pretty easy to go and do this, and it is easy. It's super easy. It's just that it's easy to miss things too. So, you know, when you take the stencil off, you can immediately tell what you've missed. So what you should be doing is kind of having a damp, your damp cloth there to wipe off your stencils so you don't mess other things up. So now here I would have done all of these things in red, thinking that, I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to do some of the obvious holly berry things, like where there's triples, little triple berries, then that's kind of speaks holly to me. And so I'm just going to be kind of selective for where I use the red. Anyway, I don't know if there's a, you know, easier way of doing this coloring. You could use, you could use watercolor pencils if you wanted to. You could use maybe watercolor brushes. So these smaller leaves, I'm putting those, giving them the Seabrook hue, so that the leaves are lighter and the stems are sticking out as dark. I like the way that looks. So, and there's some little round leaves here, and those are going to be a lighter green also. You want to, the one thing with the stencil is you want to make sure that you're as close to being over the embossed area, lined up as perfectly as you can get it, because otherwise you get kind of a little edge that kind of sticks out. But it's not a big deal, but you kind of want to get things lined up as best as you can. So see how the red berries, the single berries and the triple berries, they kind of show up a little bit more than when I had so much in red. So I'm liking this a lot better, and I'm liking that I've used the light and the dark green colors. So I missed these funny little shaped leaves and some stems. I missed some stems. Still missed another one of those. Tell you what, it's a fun project to do. Just be patient with yourself. So there we go. And I've got ink all over me. Got to line things up again. I like this concept of having the embossing folder and then coming and coloring using the stencils. I really, really like this idea. It just adds, you know, for one thing, it makes life pretty easy for us that we can, you know, color and some embossed cardstock, and you can color it with all different colors. So it just kind of makes it, you know, a lot of interest is added to it. Okay, I really like this much better than my first go around with this. Messed a little thing in the corner there. So I'm going to put my things away so I don't get some more ink all over me. And now these shapes are shapes that I cut on the Cricut, and they're from one of my older cartridges that's uploaded to Design Space. And so I cut the white cardstock at 2 inches, and then the white glitter cardstock I cut at 2 1/4 inches. So I just happen to love this shape. Just a thing. Ain't nothing but a thing. And I am going to go ahead and stamp this in Scarlet. And so it's a beautiful font. And the other Merry Christmas is real pretty too. You can tell that I've used these repeatedly. These are from my stash. So I've had these for quite a while. So, and I decided that I would add a little bit of distressing with Scarlet around the edge of the white daisy so that it would kind of stick out from the white glitter. So it'll bring a little bit more attention to the white glitter. And because glitter, it's really hard to stick things to glitter paper. So I'm going to use the liquid, and that will work out much better than the tape runners. So I need to set that down so it'll just kind of dry in place and not curl up. Put my little stamp back. These are M stamps, and they're very inexpensive. They're only like, I think they like $3.95 or something. And it's good to have a collection of them for a quick card. So I could put this directly on the background of the white base. And it would be okay. I could probably even distress it in red to make it stick out a little bit. But I thought, well, it would be nice to have a little shimmer on the edge to stick out. And I kind of decided that, you know, the red shimmer trim definitely made my embossed paper stick out a lot more. And so I am just going to run the red all around the edges, and then I'll miter the corners and show you how I go about mitering corners. Now you could just cut them off square, but the mitered corners is just so much neater. So I'm just kind of going around, leaving a little excess at the ends. And it just so happens I have a lot of red shimmer tape, because when I buy shimmer tape, I buy a lot of it because I love this stuff. So what I'm going to do is just lift up the tape and together cut it from one corner to from the outside corner to the inside corner. And then it just beautifully lines up. I just love doing mitered corners so much more than just cutting it off square. It's just, you end up with this precise fit that just doesn't show any kind of gaps. And that's why I like it so much. And it's really easy to do. You just line up, hold your two tapes, and cut from the outside to the inside corner. So you're running a 45-degree angle is what you're doing. That one got a little sticky. And there we go. Boom. And that one just had a little bit of a tail sticking out, so I'll just shave it off there. Okay, so now if I want to stick this, and see how much that pops from the embossed paper. It really shows up a lot more than the green would have. So once again, I'm sticking this down. So it's going to be edged on the glitter tape. And so I want it to stick really well, so I'm going to take it over to the edges. And it really needs to be, and especially the fact that it's embossed paper, so some of the paper's up and some of the paper's down. So this way you really get a good stick. So now what I'm going to do, the sketch, which I didn't show you, has a strip that goes across the middle, and then there's a sentiment that goes in the center of the strip. And so I'm just kind of running, trying to figure out, you know, what do I want to put here? You know, the red just shows up so beautifully with this paper that I'm just going to go ahead and run the red right through the middle. I'm just going to let it overlap a little bit so that I can cut it off right to the edge of the embossed paper. Then it's like, oh, that looks pretty. So I'm going to use some of the Seabrook. That looks really pretty with the background. Ooh, that is so pretty. My goodness, that is so pretty. And that would have been pretty, but I decided to use the white. The Seabrook may have been better. But the white is just, that covers all the colors that we're using here. So that's kind of nice too. So there we go. And I'm just trimming it right to the edge. And then I've got to neaten up the side over here. So I'm just cutting it right along the edge of the cardstock, the background. Here we go. Ta-da. And then I want to pop that up. And so I'm going to use some foam tape. And cut a couple of pieces. This is pretty thick tape. One thing nice about the foam tape is it's going to go through the mailing machines very easily without, any kind of problem. It's not like having, the gems and stuff that can, get kind of thick. So now this is the May stamp of the October stamp of the month. And it's really perfect. If you got this one, it's really perfect for making tags, but it's also good. Now this would be real good in the slimline cards. But I'm going to go ahead and use one of these. And I'm going to use the one that's talking about health. Because Jim had his problems with health. He had to have surgery on his foot. And then he, fell off the ladder and had stitches. And so, you know what? It's tough to go through all of those things. And, it really is true. When you've got your health, you've got everything. Otherwise feeling miserable and being in pain is no fun. So, I'm all about happy and healthy. Peaceful, hug-filled New Year. Yay. That's what we want. Well, I didn't get that one. I didn't get enough ink on it. So this is another way of seasoning your stamp. It works much faster if you just do it on your hand like I usually do. But this is another way. You can stamp it 3 or 4 times until you get a really clear stamp. And so I'm going to put that down, hold it in place to get a nice, and it worked real well. And I like the color just matches the outside card, so it's very well coordinated. And the other thing I like to do is to just put a little thing on the back, a little logo. So that Santa that goes with this, I use this on my coffee cards, my the lattes on me or something. So all of the little to-go coffee cups that I made, I used this stamp along with some of the others. And so he's such a cute Santa, and I love Santas. He's so cute that I'm going to put him on the back of my card. So that's like my Hallmark logo. So there, that's done. And the next thing I need is an envelope to decorate. And so this is what I'm going to do, is put him on here too. Ta-da! There we go. So if you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe. And, if you want to give me a thumbs up, that would be wonderful. And I would appreciate it. And, go check out the Atlantic Heart Sketch Challenge blog and get some great ideas that aren't super hard to do for making cards. It's just such a great inspiration for card making. So I'm just going to put all my stuff away so that I can find it again. put my little Santa away because I need to make all of my Christmas cards. So I have a long ways to go here, which I'll be working on hopefully early this week because I have run out of time. So I used the white and the red. Always leave a tail so you can get your shimmer trim off easily. And then we used the Seabrook. I would highly recommend that color. And the pine also. So they're always a good embellishment to have around. And I store those in my organized boxes for M stamps. They're perfect. Perfect size for the M stamp box organizer. Okay, so there's my card. And there's my envelope, and I use pine, Seabrook, scarlet, and the holly embossing folder and stencils. So there we go. Thanks for watching. Bye now. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye. Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.